Hello everybody, this is week 6 summary video. Let's talk about chapter 6 first. Behavior change is a dynamic and ongoing process. Applied behavior analysis are interested in documenting and analyzing repeated measures of behavior change over time. Graphic displays of behavioral data provide a format from which valid and reliable decisions from raw data are best analyzed. Through the visual analysis of graphic displays of behavior data, applied behavior analysis are able to answer questions related to the meaningfulness of behavior change. So this is example graph of A-B design. Condition A is the baseline, condition B is the intervention. So whatever intervention you choose, it will go to condition B. So as you see, condition A has 3 data points, which means they have 3 baseline data. And then condition B also has 3 different data points. So that means they implement intervention 3 times. For your practicum report, you are going to implement intervention and you will use A-B design. So you will have condition A, condition B. For condition A baseline, you will have at least 3 stable baseline data, which means you will have 3 or more baseline observations, and then you will move on to condition B and you will implement the intervention you choose. It can be reinforcement, shaping, chaining, whatever intervention you choose. So you will implement the intervention at least 5 times and you will graph your data. So your graph should look similar to this one right here because you're employing an A-B design, right? This is a example graph of ABA reversal design. As you see, condition A, B, and A are there. So condition A is baseline, condition B is intervention. So they implement intervention 2 times and then they return to baseline without intervention. The primary function of graphic displays of behavior data is communication. Graphic displays and visual analysis of behavioral data have several benefits over other displays of behavioral data. First, plotting data immediately following an observation period provides the practitioner with an ongoing and progressive record of participant behavior. And second, graphs are a simple and easily analyzable format for practitioners. Visual analysis of behavioral data is relatively easy to learn, is less time consuming, and does not rely on mathematical or statistical assumptions. Graphic displays and visual analysis help filter out the effects of weak variables and often allow for the identification of robust interventions. In addition, graphic displays of behavioral data encourage applied behavior analysis to draw their own conclusions based on patterns of behavior over time rather than relying on statistical manipulations. There are several types of graphs used to display behavioral data in applied behavior analysis. The visual format selected depends on the type of raw data collected and the primary purpose of the evaluation. Commonly used graphic displays include line graphs, bar graphs, cumulative record, semi-logarithmic chart, and scatter plots. Line graphs are the format most commonly used by applied behavior analysis. The basic part of a properly constructed line graph include accurately labeled vertical and horizontal axes, clearly placed and connected data point, appropriately placed condition labels, and a descriptive figure caption. The visual display of behavioral data provides practitioners with tools to evaluate the social meaningfulness of behavior change and make informed decisions about the effects of the independent variable on the dependent variable. Visual analysis allows for the inspection of changes in level, trend, and variability both within and across conditions. Now let's move on to chapter 29, ethical considerations for applied behavior analysis. Ethics help behavior analysis address three basic questions. What is the right thing to do? What is worth doing? What does it mean to be a good behavior analysis? Ethics help the behavior analysis determine what is the morally correct course of action irrespective of expediency, pressures, personal history, or preference, etc. These practices are often codified by professional organization. However, it is important to understand that these codes change over time due to the changing culture in which we live. It is important for behavioralists to understand the ethical practice codes as well as the rules for the specific settings in which they work. Professional organizations not only set the ethical codes for their organizations, but they also impose sanctions when deviations from the codes occur. Behavior analysis should comply with ethical codes not just to avoid sanctions. At the heart of their decision making should be the welfare of the client. Because cultures and rules change over time, the behavior analysis must be self regulating to keep abreast of changing norms. Therefore, behavior analysis must maintain certifications through not only formal training, supervised practica, and mentored professional practice, but also through continuing education and staying at rest of current research. Behavior analysis must obtain informed consent prior to providing treatment. To obtain informed consent, the behavior analysis must ensure that the client has the capacity to make decisions, provides voluntary consent, and understands the treatments for which consent was given. In addition, before providing treatment, behavior analysis must ensure that treatment is necessary. and must be confident that the treatment environment will support treatment delivery. When providing treatment, behavior analysis must maintain the confidentiality of the client. In addition, behavior analysis must ensure the dignity of his or her client by ensuring that the client makes choices, has privacy, has a therapeutic environment, and has a right to refuse treatment. Throughout treatment, the behavior analysis must be on guard against conflicts of interest. When conducting frequent, direct measure behavior, behavior analysis must interact with clients and families in natural setting, for example, their homes. The behavior analysis must guard against developing relationships with clients that extend past professional boundaries.